This is the ZNS Network, providing radio and high-definition television services for the entire Bahamas. ZNS Network is operated by the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas. It is located at Harcourt Rusty Bethel Drive, Centerville, Nassau. Our programming is designed to inform, educate, and entertain. We invite you to join us.
The following is the preamble of the Constitution of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, which was drafted on June 20th, 1973, and came into effect on July 10th, 1973. Whereas, 481 years ago, the rediscovery of this family of islands, rocks and keys, heralded the rebirth of the New World. And whereas the people of this family of islands, recognizing that the preservation of their freedom will be guaranteed by a national commitment to self-discipline, industry, loyalty, unity, and an abiding respect for Christian values and the rule of law. Now know ye therefore, we the inheritors of and successors to this family of islands, recognizing the supremacy of God and believing in the fundamental rights and freedoms of the individual, do hereby proclaim in solemn praise the establishment of a free and democratic sovereign nation founded on spiritual values and in which no man, woman, or child shall ever be slave or bondsman to anyone, or their labor exploited, or their lives frustrated by deprivation, and do hereby provide by these articles for the indivisible unity and creation under God of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
The Atlantic hurricane season runs from June 1st to November 30th. When a hurricane alert is issued for your area, which indicates the possibility that you could experience hurricane conditions within 60 hours, you should begin the initial stages of preparation for the storm. When the storm is 48 hours away, a hurricane watch is issued. Once a watch is issued, be sure to get updates from the Met Office via television or radio. Get your battery-powered radio ready. Keep your emergency supply kit, blankets, and sleeping bags handy, and keep children and pets indoors. Be sure you have extra cash and a car tank full of gas. Fill all prescriptions. A hurricane warning means that a storm with winds up to 74 miles per hour or more is 36 hours away. At this point, secure all windows with shutters and plywood. Place your valuables in a waterproof container and store them on the highest floor in your home or in the safest area. This public service announcement has been brought to you by the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas in conjunction with the National Emergency Management Agency.
The road ahead for Abaco will be outlined as the Prime Minister makes an assessment of his recent visit. We'll tell you how local hotels are trying to attract more visitors to this country, and hundreds enjoy the annual food festival over the weekend. Life is about making an impact, not an income. Good morning, everyone. I'm LaDawn Davis, and welcome to the Morning Edition. And as always, it's so great to have you waking up with us. We can expect a weak high pressure across the islands today, and for more on your weather outlook for today and the rest of the week is Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean.
This weather report is sponsored by Bank of the Bahamas, the bank of solutions.
Good morning, LaDawn. We'll get you started with our ZNS Tower Cam, and it is showing near clear skies, just a few clouds floating around out there, and that's because we are under the influence of a weak high-pressure system. And as we go to our satellite picture, pretty much in agreement, few clouds throughout the 700 islands, and if that is not good enough, outside of our studios, we have just a few clouds. Your temperature is 77 degrees, relative humidity at 94%, very humid conditions. Winds are near calm out of the north at 2 miles per hour. The barometric pressure 1,015.7 millibars. That's 29.99 inches, and it is rising. Temperatures around the islands this morning: Marsh Harbor at 77, Green Toll Key and Freeport, Grand Bahama, all at 77 degrees. 83 in the Berry Islands, 82 in Allenstown, Bimini, 82 in Harper Island, Roxanne and Luttra, 82, Otterstown, Cat Island at 81 degrees, 81 in Staniel Key, Kemps Bay, St. Andrews at 81, 80 degrees at Fresh Creek, Central Andros, San Salvador at 81, Rum Key, 81 degrees, 82 in Ragged Island, Clarencetown, Long Island, Crooked Island, Betsy Bay, 83, Acklands, 83, Matthewtown, Inagua, 82 degrees, and the Turks and Caicos Islands at 83 degrees. Yeah, Bodie forecast for today in the northwestern parts of our country, southeast to south winds at 10 to 15 knots, wave heights 2 to 4 feet. Low tide will take place at 6:38 this morning, high tide at 1:07 in the afternoon. And for the central and southeastern islands, east to southeast winds 10 to 15 knots, and the wave heights 2 to 4 feet. That's going to do it for your first look at weather, the morning edition. Stay tuned. Your forecast for today and tonight is still ahead.
Basil, thanks a lot. Meanwhile, our Lloyd Allen in the Morning Edition team is standing by with the Bahamas First traffic report.
The traffic report is sponsored by Bahamas First. First in insurance. Today, tomorrow.
Well, a super duper morning this morning, LaDawn. It's a great Monday morning. And this morning, we're moving on up. We're downtown this morning reporting your traffic in the area of Rawson Square. Already this morning, we've observed that motoring traffic is slow to build this morning, likely due to the result of several schools being out on midterm break. But of course, we've observed a number of pedestrians in this area. And with that, we would like to advise the motoring public as they approach this area to approach it with caution and with care. This morning, we're joined by Sergeant Jerron Thompson from the Royal Bahamas Police Force, who's beginning to give us a look at overnight traffic along with several other matters. Good morning, Officer Thompson.
Good morning to you. Good morning, Bahamas.
So give us a look on how traffic unfolded this weekend.
Well, over the past 48 hours, we had a total of 44 crashes, 9 of which involves crashes with injuries, and we had 1 hit-and-run accident.
So 1 hit-and-run and the serious the more serious accidents have increased. However, those driving and leaving the scene, that's decreased, likely due to the result of more officers on the street?
Yes, as you would have traversed throughout the island of New Providence, you would have seen an increased number of police officers enforcing the traffic laws, stop and searches, and it's making it safer for the motoring public.
Also, this morning, we know that roadworks have been ongoing in the area of Nassau Street North, but talk to us about some other initiatives taking place in the western area.
Yes, as I was on the West Bay Strip yesterday, Cable Beach area, I saw some tree trimming exercises where persons had some cones and some traffic diversions in that area. I like for persons who doing these roadworks and tree trimming and whatever you have to do with the road with respect to traffic diversion, you first have to seek a permit from the Commissioner of Police in order to have those diversions and what have you erected. If you don't have a permit, we would fine you on the road. We have the authority to ask you to leave. Once you ask for a permit, the Commissioner of Police, he then sends down a email concerning your request to the OC of the Traffic Division, Chief Superintendent Craig Stubbs, and also the commanding officer in that area, so we can have officers to monitor those areas and to make sure that those persons engaging in those works are safe, and make sure the public and the motoring public that is adhere to the diversions put in place. But you just can't take it upon yourself to erect cones and have traffic diversions on our streets. That is the sole responsibility of the Commissioner of Police, and that goes out to BEC, Water and Sewage, Cable Bahamas, whoever. Don't come on our streets and erect cones and have traffic diversions, because we're gonna ask you to leave.
All right. Now, additionally, I talked about it earlier about the motoring traffic here in the downtown area. Talk to us a little bit about speed limits in areas like this in Shirley Street.
The speed limit on Bay Street is 25 miles per hour. So is it on Shirley Street. And we like persons to adhere to the speed limits. And also, we know that there are a number of persons that came in from Abaco and Grand Bahama that may not be familiar with the speed limit in various areas. So we're going to be calling on the Ministry of Works to erect signs and proper signage and posters, speed sign posters throughout the island, especially in school zones and on the outskirts of on the island, so persons can be aware of the speed limits, because when we start our speed operations, we don't want any excuses.
Now, I'm glad that you mentioned that as well. I'm going to take the liberty to ask you this question. Another concern, obviously, with speed limit, like in the area of downtown, 25 miles per hour, with many pedestrians obviously using this area. Any advice for the motoring public? Should they always go to the max for the speed limit?
Not necessarily. If you could travel 18 to 20 miles per hour, that would be awesome, because as you can see, there's a number of pedestrians in this area. There are a number of pedestrian crossings, so that speed gives you a good opportunity to break down in time to allow pedestrians to cross the street on the pedestrian crossings.
All right, there. So some great information to get your Monday morning started. Reporting here from Rawson Square, LaDawn, back to you in your beautiful pink dress in studio.
Provided with an update on the relief and recovery exercise over in Abaco. Prime Minister, the Most Honorable Dr. Hubert Minnis, who returned from a weekend visit, will address a press conference at his office at 8 o'clock. Prime Minister Minnis was able to assess recovery and reconstruction efforts, including security, the progress of the temporary housing program for government workers and Abaco residents, as well as cleanup efforts. The Prime Minister announced that Abaco and its surrounding keys will be divided into zones, and a phased approach will be taken to the removal and disposal of storm debris. It was also noted that area identified for cleanup is thoroughly checked for bodies using dogs and must be cleared before heavy equipment can be brought onto the site. Now, the cleanup of residential areas is expected to begin later this week. Land for the site of the Family Relief Center has been cleared, and the necessary infrastructure material has arrived on the island. While in Abaco, the Prime Minister met with Abaco Hurricane Coordinator Mr. Jack Thompson, visited Elbow and Manowar Keys and numerous settlements in the north and south of Abaco. Minister of Finance and Deputy Prime Minister, the Honorable Peter Turnquest, also outlined the significant impact of Hurricane Dorian on Grand Bahama and Abaco more than a month ago at the International Monetary Fund's breakfast meeting with Caribbean governors in Washington, D.C. on Sunday. He initially expressed deep gratitude on behalf of the Governor General, the Prime Minister, and the people of the Bahamas for the outpouring of sympathy and support from regional friends and international partners following Hurricane Dorian. Now, the Deputy Prime Minister also outlined the significant impact of climate change on small island developing states like the Bahamas. He emphasized that in the wake of Hurricane Dorian, the Bahamas and the Bahamian people are expected to bear the brunt of a climate crisis we are not responsible for. Now, the Minister Turnquest also highlighted concessionary financing climate refugees and managing mass migration as areas that require urgent attention from the international sector. Officials from the Ministry of Tourism executing a multi-channel marketing campaign to spread the message that while Grand Bahama and Abaco continue to rebuild more than a month after Hurricane Dorian, tourists can visit one of the 14 islands that remain open for business. Ministry of Tourism officials conducted a U.S. satellite tour live from Nassau on October 10th and pitched key media updates on the state of tourism nationwide. They also held regular interviews on major U.S. and Canadian television networks. Leading consumer and travel publications will partner with the Grand Isle and Exuma to showcase the Family Islands to top-tier media and influencers by hosting an Open for a Business Island hopping group, as well as generating hashtag Bahamas Strong. Tourism officials have even called upon Bahamian American entertainer Lenny Kravitz, an American astronaut, to drive more attention to the Bahamas. And while the Ministry of Tourism steps up its global appeal to visitors, the local hotel body is also sending out a strong message to its guests. Here's Charles Fisher.
The Bahamas is open for business. That's the message being spread to the world, and that's the same message of the Nassau Paradise Island Promotion Board, headed by CEO Fred Lounsbury, whose task is to promote, Paradise Island on behalf of its member hotels.
Yeah, we had a little hiccup this year, but overall we're tracking to a record year, and we'll get it back. It's coming back slowly.
With the winter months ahead, projectives should soar.
We're starting to see a gradual return, a lot of short-term bookings, but everything I hear is the holidays are shaping up okay. Still a lot of work to be done, but overall the winter looks solid. We talk to the airlines all the time, and they see the advanced bookings haven't really taken that big of a hit, so we're very optimistic. And we went on television this week, so we are back out in the marketplace, and this is the normal time for the winter and holiday business. So we see it ticking back. We see indicators that are actually a little above last year. So it'll take some time to turn into bookings, but we're optimistic.
Many look at the scenery and ambience of Paradise Island and say it's an easy sell, but that is not true.
There's a lot of competition out there. Everybody wants the same people, so we have to have our voice out there every day of the year, and there's a lot of people that want our business, so we have to stay vigilant and be out there with marketing and events such as this that keep our name in front of the customer.
For ZNS Network News, I'm Charles Fisher.
Despite Hurricane Dorian, some visitors out of Florida decided to spend some good vacation time here in the Bahamas. Award-winning television journalist Carlos Mackey and his classmates decided to hold their 50th class reunion here in the Bahamas. Mackey says after Hurricane Dorian's wrath, many tourists were contemplating their vacation here, so they decided to support the Bahamian economy and also lend support to his Bahamian roots.
Well, I'm very privileged and honored to have a group of beautiful people that I grew up with from Daytona Beach, Florida, but they're all over from Vegas, New York, California, Florida to come see me in the Bahamas and celebrate us. You know, they knew my parents, my dad is Bahamian, and they saw a lot of my parents' family come to Daytona. And I've always talked about them coming to Nassau. So the class of 64 and other members are here now.
Mackey's classmates say they're extremely excited to immerse themselves in the Bahamian culture.
Carlos told me about this trip, said, Larry, you got to come. And so I just made a tremendous effort to get here to make sure I got here. And the experience has been wonderful. We've enjoyed ourselves immensely, and we hope to continue to enjoy it until we leave.
Enjoying myself. Love the food. Everything is great. Looking forward to seeing some males. Okay? Some men, okay?
We will fight for thee.
And still to come in the morning edition, reaching out to the blind as they seek to impact the society in a very special way. So stay close.
Look, it's simple. Fidelity can consolidate all your bills with our debt consolidation loan. Give you one monthly payment and money in your pocket.
So let me get this straight, Miss Financial Coach. You say something about cash in my pocket?
Yes.
And a savings plan with 5% interest? Wow, finally! A bank that's looking out for me. What do you want me to sign?
That's not all. We also offer competitive interest rates and free financial coaching.
That's Fidelity. You ain't hear me. Where do I sign?
Explore the world of agriculture with us. Join me, your host, Carla Palmer, for continued adventures in agriculture and the marine environment as we head into Season 2 of the program, Agriculture Now. That's Agriculture Now, moving to a new date and time, Wednesdays at 8 p.m. and Saturdays at 9 a.m., right here on the ZNS Television Network.
Just like my love.
Welcome to the best of sports world.
Welcome back to the Morning Edition. Police are this morning investigating a murder in the Pinewood Gardens community. A man was killed on Buttonwood Street around 10 o'clock. Circumstances surrounding the shooting are not clear at this time. Meanwhile, our Northern Service news team is reporting from education officials over in Grand Bahama that the Maurice Moore Primary School opens today. Hugh Campbell Primary will need more time for repairs and will open on Tuesday. Parents are advised that classes will be dismissed at 3 p.m. for all schools in that district. We still have stories of survival from residents of Grand Bahama and Abaco after Hurricane Dorian. This morning, we introduce you to a Marsh Harbor survivor who is ready to rebuild and return home. Here's Altavis Bunnings.
I'm one of the very few fortunate ones that still have a dry bed.
Julio Perotti lives in the Little Orchard section of Marsh Harbor and has been working on repairing his home that suffered damage from Hurricane Dorian. And he's taking matters into his own hands by outfitting his home with solar and a water system.
Up in the corner of the roof, and then the tiles, what happened, the roof got impacted, and then, you know, the wind got up underneath the metal roof. And then I used a 12-volt solar system to pressurize the house for washing dishes, flushing toilets, showering with both hands, not the gallon buckets or the gallon style, you know. And a lot of the things that we take for granted have really, you know, proven to be precious. Just a simple shower. I went 5 days and I traded a hot meal for a shower.
Perotti makes frequent repairs to his home while his family is away, and he's hoping that he and his family can one day return permanently to Marsh Harbor. He's optimistic, though, that Abaco will become better.
Starting a life over on a different island is going to be harder than what you're used to. I've been here since 1985, you know, and I was born and raised in Grand Bahama, but that got mashed up too, you know, so it's not too much of an alternative. It's a chance to reorganize the infrastructure. This infrastructure was designed for 40 years ago, and they constantly keep piling more and more on top, and it's a failed system. Now is the opportune time for somebody to sit down, plan it out, and make it better.
October is Blind Awareness Month, and the Salvation Army has partnered with local groups and organizations to help increase assistance for members of that community for about 70 years through education and various opportunities. The Aaron Harrison Gilmore School for the Blind and Visually Impaired is also a part of the Salvation Army's mission to assist the blind and has operated since March 14, 1971. Major Clarence Ingram says while the efforts of the Salvation Army are long-standing, local support remains an important key to that organization's success.
Not only have we been teaching the children, of course, but as well some of the children that have come up through our system have become teachers to teach other children. So we employ some of them afterward as teachers and teachers' aides. We also employ some in our mop factory, which manufactures mops for sale throughout the Bahamas.
Ingram says as technologies in the areas of disability assistance continue to advance, the ability for the disabled to find avenues to normal lives and professions is also expanding. These can come in the form of driving assistance, smartphones, apps, and even a new kind of internet.
I think technology is moving so quickly and becoming so advanced in those areas that it will transform the lives of people that are visually impaired and blind, because pretty soon they will be able to travel on their own with a vehicle. They will certainly be able to have books read to them through the computers and through various other technologies. There are technologies as well now where they can wear a vest to tell them where objects are to help them to navigate. So there are new technologies being developed all the time.
Breast cancer survivor Diane Duncombe is urging women to be proactive when it comes to their health by getting annual physicals and mammograms and conducting self-breast examinations monthly. Duncombe has been a member of the Jenny Dean Caring and Sharing Cancer Support Group for a number of years. The group meets every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Our news team stopped by one of those meetings where group members provided support for those fighting or surviving all forms of cancer. The breast cancer survivor describes it as therapy during her journey.
I've been a part of the Jenny Dean Caring and Sharing Cancer Support Group since 2012. It helps me a lot because in our group it's women helping women. We can identify, each situation is different, but we can share our experiences and learn from each other. And also it can help to motivate and encourage, women to get their testings and do the right thing, live healthy, and to live a long and prosperous life, healthy life. But with Jenny Dean, it's a good camaraderie with a group of women, strong women, I call them. Survivors, they are very strong.
And still to come, we'll tell you how some local Bahamians are seeking to create business opportunities, so stay close.
Comfort Suites Paradise Island is the best-kept secret in the Bahamas. Located directly next door to the Atlantis Resort, you'll receive all the privileges of an Atlantis guest with all the benefits of a Comfort Suite stay. Enjoy everything Atlantis has to offer, including Aquaventure Water Park, plus all the amenities of Comfort Suites. Free Wi-Fi, free breakfast daily, and kids stay, play, and eat free. Visit ComfortSuitesPI.com.
For the latest news and highlights in Bahamian culture, tune in to the new Junkanoo 242, Saturdays, 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. on the ZNS Radio and Television Network. Radio Bahamas 1540 a.m. on 104.5 FM and TV 13. Each week, hosts Arlene Nash Ferguson and Darren Bastian engage its listeners with some of the movers and shakers of Junkanoo and Bahamian culture. Don't miss Junkanoo 242, Saturday at 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. on the ZNS Radio and Television Network.
Hepatitis is the inflammation of the liver, which is the organ responsible for filtering toxins from the body, producing bile for digestion, and producing proteins and clotting factors. The most important cause of hepatitis worldwide is viruses, of which there are 5 main types: A, B, C, D, and E. Hepatitis B and C are major health challenges globally, affecting over 300 million persons worldwide. The suspicion of hepatitis may be a challenge as there are typically no symptoms. However, if infected, non-specific symptoms may include decreased appetite, nausea, vague abdominal discomfort, jaundice or yellow eyes, and abnormal liver function tests. If not treated, hepatitis of any type can lead to cirrhosis and liver cancer, which leads to over 1 million deaths worldwide. If you suspect you may have been exposed to the virus that causes hepatitis, talk to your doctor today and get tested.
This public service announcement is brought to you by the Public Hospitals Authority in conjunction with the Medical Association of the Bahamas and the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas.
What you see on this television station is governed by IRCA's Code of Practice for Content Regulation. The Code of Practice covers matters relating to program content that are of concern to the community, such as local content, news, current affairs, and programs for children, advertising, including political advertisements, and the responsibilities associated with broadcasting in the Bahamas. The code also covers aspects such as access services for the hearing and visually impaired, and the procedure for lodging a complaint about anything broadcasted by this television station. The code is available on IRCA's website at www.ircabahamas.bs. To receive a copy of the code by mail or in person, you may telephone IRCA at 242-393-0234. Family Island dialing is toll-free at 242-300-8722. Or you may send a request by email to info@ircabahamas.bs.
Members of the Junkanoo Community Outreach Group, which includes Genesis Junkanoo Organization, Roots, and Rhythm and Youth, along with several partners, welcomed kids affected by Hurricane Dorian to a Junkanoo Jamboree at the National Art Gallery on West Street over the weekend. The goal was to provide some therapy for the kids and also teach them about the fundamentals of the country's #1 cultural expression. Head of Outreach.
Well, it was important for the Junkanoo world to also reach out. We had a lot of public and civil and private organizations, but we wanted to let them know that the Junkanoo community is also here to help and assist.
Assistant Director of Outreach for the Genesis Junkanoo Group, Devette Umbrister, believes this event truly made an impact on the youngsters.
What we experience when we rush, when we're involved in Junkanoo, we want to share that with them. It's known that the sounds of the drum is very therapeutic, so we wanted to give them that feeling as well, that release as well. And we wanted to distract them from their norm, give them a break from what has become their norm. So this is what's happening here today.
The retreat gardens of the Bahamas National Trust will come alive this weekend for the much-anticipated 29th Annual Wine and Arts Festival on October 26th and 27th. It's all a part of the BNT's 60 years of conservation activities. All proceeds will go towards the benefits of Hurricane Dorian restoration to help nature recover. The Morning Edition team caught up with organizers who say they are proud to create an event that's not only providing funding for national parks, but support for local artists and musicians.
A couple of thousand people a day is what we expect.
That's President of the Bahamas National Trust, Eric Carey's expectation on the numbers for this year's Wine and Arts Festival. There will be a lot of sampling through the vineyard for patrons gearing up to get a taste of over 50 wines, including new brands, at the 29th consecutive Wines and Arts Festival on the BNT's retreat grounds. Culinary manager at the Ministry of Tourism, Deanne Gibson, says a shuttle bus will be provided for visitors eager to satisfy their taste buds on some scrumptious cuisine and libations. She says it's been her pleasure showcasing the best the country has to offer through wine tastings and culinary arts.
We do wine pairings each year where we bring in chefs, and that's why it's culinary. It's a wine event, culinary, so we bring it all in and we bring the chefs in, and they do dishes, and the wines are paired with the dishes. So you get to see how you can make this wine that you want to purchase, what it goes well with. And this year, as it's the 60th year for the Trust, we are actually doing heritage dishes. And of course, the Trust manages our environment, particularly our marine resources. So all of the dishes are seafood based. Gibson, who is also a patron, says the festival eases the burden when trying to purchase the right spirits for family time during the holidays. It was like a thing for me and my group. We would come, and it was a couple couples, and we would come and we would choose our wines, and we would actually purchase our wines for the holiday season. And so I think besides it being a lovely social outing, it is an event that benefits the sponsor, and so they definitely get persons to be introduced to new wines, and so locals love it. President of the Bahamas National Trust, Eric Carey, says he expects thousands of Bahamians to come out and show their support for this worthy cause.
We need seed funding to make these events happen. Most importantly, they couldn't happen unless people came out and enjoyed the event. So it's, you know, the Wine and Art Festival is really a dual-purpose event. It has great benefits to the work of the National Trust by providing funds, but it's also a fun event for people. I mean, people look forward to Wine and Art. I mean, people start calling us from, you know, September, you know, when is Wine and Art? You know, what's going to happen? We have 2 days of events this year. So, you know, we increased the event to a 2-day event a few years ago, and that's really helped increase a number of aspects of it, including obviously more funding, but also providing more opportunities for the artists.
So don't forget that the 29th Annual Wine and Arts Festival is set for Saturday and Sunday, October 26th and 27th at the retreat grounds of the Bahamas National Trust on Village Road. The much-anticipated 2019 International Culture, Wine and Food Festival ended on Sunday at the Botanical Gardens. Hundreds of visitors and residents attended the event over the past 2 days to experience the taste, flavor, and cultures from around the world. Our Priscilla Forbes reports.
Food Fest 2019 is the bomb. Megaski, yes sir, represented Actress Bahamas the
Food, art, bouncing castles, and a petting zoo were just a few activities patrons at this year's Cultural Wine and Food Festival enjoyed. Our first stop was at the booth featuring all things Jamaican.
I used to visit, but this year I take part in it. We're doing some grilling, we're doing managed water, escovitch fish, and peas and rice. I love it, and the business is very good. Yeah, it's looking successful.
Then we took a walk to Japan for some takoyaki.
Normally when people think of Japan, they think of sushi, sashimi, that kind of stuff. Where's the miso soup? So it's almost like a fritter. It's hard on the outside, soft on the inside, sort of melts in your mouth, not as bready as a fritter. There we have it with octopus, we have it with conch, and we have it with hot dog and cheese. Crazy. I should have bring backup. We're selling out the orders before they're even made.
To satisfy our sweet tooth, we got a sweet treat from Looney Tunes ice cream and coffee concession cart.
If you're not here, you need to come on down and check us out. Because Looney Tunes, we got everything for the kids and for the adults. We got cotton candy, snow cones, popcorn, ice cream, nachos, and we all on the bicycle. This is actually my 3rd year doing the International Food Fest, and I must say, it has been awesome. And each year, it's like it's growing and growing and growing, and I think they're going to outgrow the yard.
This year's food festival did not only bring cultural food, but cultural personalities. Arnold Wilson sported a handmade outfit showcasing his Bahamian pride.
This shirt is made in an actual flour bag, 100-pound bags, but you need about 5 of them because of the size of it, you have to separate it. And also the trousers is actually a crocus bag. So there was a straw that you knitted as such, which you plait to tie as the belt as such. But the pants is made of actually a straw bag. I look forward to this. And every other country has something identity with their attire. And this is, I consider, a Bahamian outfit.
An excited attendee encouraged everyone to come out and enjoy the melting pot of cultures at the festival.
I love it because I'm a major foodie. Me and my dad comes here every year. It's like the cheapest plane ticket around the world. So I had food from like Peru, Italia, some other places, but the food was good. Oh, Japan too, they were good too. I feel it's important because a lot of people don't get to leave Nassau, let alone the country. So it's just a chance to see the cultures because I got to see people dance from different parts of the world, so it's really nice. Colin sick, come out please, thank you.
If you missed this year's food festival, you definitely don't want to miss next year's event. I'm Priscilla Forbes, ZNS Network News.
The food looks really good. Thanks, Priscilla. Several young men are taking a stand to stay off the streets and into more positive activities as they keep their businesses of providing fresh coconut water to visitors and Bahamians. We caught up with a few of them to talk about their business and its impact on their lives. They say H2O keeps the body going with the right daily intake, but adding a little coconut flavor to it really hits the spot. Along the corridor on West Bay Street, you can't help but to notice young men barking coconuts of all shapes, sizes, and colors. And once that's done, they begin scooping the jelly in the hopes of attracting passers-by. For businessman LaRon Curtis, it's an honest living.
Every morning, we goes out for 400 to 500 coconut every morning. The coconut water, it have to be fresh. So every morning it have to be a nice fresh pick. And as you can see, the gentleman's at the work right now, and the other rest of coconut fellas with us on about the areas of Cable Beach, Soldier Road, Robinson Road. This is the foundation. This is the main foundation. This is where they break off from.
While the competition has been great, LaRon says the coconut water business is shedding a positive light on young men despite the negative stigma attached.
It helps the people with the cancer and help people with heart problems. So we don't thief, we don't rob. Trying to stay on the right positive track and trying to keep our mind positive. This has helped us stay out of problems too.
Now if you're looking for 1, 2, 5, or even 10 bottles of coconut water, Flo's Fresh Market across from Arawak Key is the place to find them.
We fill like up to 50 to 60 bottles a day. So every 5 bottles is $100. We sell those for $20 a gallon, and the small bottle is $5 a bottle, and the jelly bag is $3 a bag. So come on, man, support us, man. We ain't doing nothing wrong. We ain't taking no bread or no one more. We just trying to eat and trying to support our family.
Laurent says he remains hopeful that Bahamians will contribute more to their business by purchasing the thirst-quenching bottles of jelly coconut water. Boy, Fisher, that water was pretty good on Friday. I think you should go out and support
Yeah, I
them.
remember when my mom brushed, she was up, someone recommended that she get some coconut water. She got the coconut water, and she's feeling young again.
So what's coming up in sports?
Well, coming up in sports, you know, LaDawn, today is D-Day. Will Buddy Hield get that big contract extension? But I like to say, I'm not saying anything to you and Randy. After last week, I got put outside. I want to show you the pictures and everything. Barton and all laughing at me. I made a statement. I apologize. So I'm not saying anything to you and Randy for the rest of the week. Y'all got me in trouble. Y'all two is a setup.
All of that and more ahead in sports.
Andros is the #1 bone fishing destination on our planet. Sports fishermen visit our flats every year to participate in one of the most fulfilling outdoor activities known to man, fly fishing. And guess what? It's 100% sustainable. Without areas like the west side of Andros, sustaining this industry would be absolutely impossible. So let's take care of nature, and nature will take care of us.
The Saffir-Simpson Hurricane Wind Scale was developed in 1971 by civil engineer Herbert Saffir and meteorologist Robert Simpson, who was the director of the U.S. National Hurricane Center. It was introduced to the public in 1973 and began to be widely used a year later, inspired by the Richter scale that measures earthquakes. The Saffir-Simpson scale was divided into 5 categories. Originally, the scale included predicted barometric pressures associated with the various wind speeds, as well as the relative kinds of damage that could be anticipated. However, because those predictions were found to be very inaccurate just a few years ago, the warning system was changed to include only the wind speeds, which were also adjusted upwards in the higher categories. A Category 1 hurricane has wind speeds between 74 and 95 miles per hour. A Category 2 hurricane has wind speeds between 96 and 110 miles per hour. A Cat 3, 111 to 129 miles per hour. A Cat 4, 130 to 156 miles per hour. And a Category 5 hurricane will have wind speeds from 157 miles per hour and up. This public service announcement has been brought to you by the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas in conjunction with the National Emergency Management Agency.
Good Monday morning once again. Today is the day. The Sacramento Kings have until 2 o'clock today to offer Buddy Hield an extension. The Kings have offered a 4-year, $90 million extension, but Buddy wants $110 million over 4 years. What Hield wants is a deal worth about $27.5 million per year. The Kings are reportedly offering an average salary of $22.5 million. If the Kings don't get Hield's deal done now and he becomes a free agent this summer, they will still have the right to match any offer he receives. However, if Hield has another big year, another team could put even more than $110 million on the table this summer. The Kings acquired Hield at age 26 in the trade that sent DeMarcus Cousins to the New Orleans Pelicans in 2017, making him the first piece in a rebuilding effort that brought excitement back to the Sacramento Kings. Now, with Buddy indicating last week if a deal is not made, he and his team, that's his agents, would be seeking a trade. And right now, the Detroit Pistons and San Antonio Spurs are showing some interest.
I don't know, man. I don't even know if things gonna get done. If it don't get done, then after that, me and my team gotta look somewhere else and look for probably another home. But until then, we'll see if they really serious about having me here. And if they don't want to do it, then after that, like I said, we look for somewhere else to go. maybe in off season, maybe this season. I don't know. It's up what they have to plan. I don't know what their plans are with me, but like I say, I'm a hope man. I love to do this thing. That's why I came to the NBA. It's a fun job, and that's what I love to do.
Well, the fans were in the park Saturday night as the Sunshine All Wildcats, who were looking to claw to a sweep of the Inventive Intellect Lady Warriors and repeat as New Providence Softball Association Ladies Champs. But the Warriors made sure all the brooms were put back in the closet and the food and drinks put on hold as they stayed alive with a 4-3 win.
Everybody stayed locked and loaded. Our defense stayed tight. Our offense was a little off, but our defense, we really worked, and so they couldn't get no more runs. I mean, I think the furthest, I don't think nobody even hit. But we stayed tight on our defense, and we kept it together. Couldn't allow them to bring out their brooms because we're coming with the backdoor sweep. That's one. But, we have our team group. Everybody put their input in what we need to do, what our do's and our don'ts. And we actually stayed together from in our group. We stayed together. Once we stay together as one cohesive unit, we can pass any team.
Yeah, you can't have too overconfident yourself, and errors will kill you. If you make errors, the more errors you make, you're going to win. You get a chance to win. You got to cut down on errors. You got to hit. Tuesday, I got him.
Sounds interesting. On the men's side, there was a lot of cool breeze blowing at the park as batters were swinging as it was another pitcher's duel between Alcott Forbes and Thomas Davis. Forbes and the CS Enterprise Hitmen getting the best of Davis and the Commander Security Truckers 4-zip, and they take a 3-1 series lead. Now both series could wrap up come Tuesday as both series are 3-1. Shawnee Miller-Uribo enjoying the double as her and her husband Marcel, who is from Estonia, picked up silver medals at the recent IWF World Track and Field Championships in Doha. He did it in the multi-event, the decathlon, historic for the couple.
It's the first time where we both got a medal at the same championship, and it's new to us. We definitely enjoy this time. Both of our seasons paid off in the end, and we did good. So it's an incredible feeling to come home, share with people, and we finally got things right when it mattered at the end of the season at the major championships. I actually trained here for almost a year with Shaunee's father, Sean Miller, and a couple other coaches who helped me with the throws and jumps. So I like it here. I like the warm weather. I like the beaches. When I was here, I dipped in the ocean almost every day after practice. I just love it here. I'm from Estonia. Is relatively cold for the most part of the year, so to have a sunshine and warm weather, and I just love it.
Bahamas' newest adopted son. Well, the Aqua X World Championships coming to the 242 Atlanta's Paradise Island will be the host. Something new for the resort that already hosts some of the top sports events in the world.
We've been working on this now for about 10 months. It went from a possible to a no to a possible, maybe more, so to where we are today, which is really just geared up and putting in the logistics to get this thing on the road. So we at Atlantis especially are extremely proud to be the host hotel and to be partnering with the Nassau Paradise Island Promotion Board and the Ministry of Tourism to bring this event here. It is for now, a 2-year deal. So we know that it will be here next year as well. So depending on what we see, we'll continue to do this in years to come. We are very happy to be doing events like this. These are destination events that bring not only attention and excitement to the Bahamas, but also stuff for our visitors to do, as well as our residents. And so we're very, very fortunate to have this event.
And don't forget, stay tuned to ZNS Total Sports, the Buddy Heel Watch until 2 o'clock this afternoon. If anything breaks, we'll let you know first here with the ZNS Total Sports on the radio and also on the television. And don't forget, coming up this morning on 1540 AM, 104.5 FM, and also the ZNS Television Network, it's the OT with yours truly. We'll be talking softball. The Bahamas Softball Federation Round Robin Nationals is off due to Hurricane Dorian, but a big tournament is on the horizon. You'll have to tune in to see just how things are going to go with that. But once again, the Buddy Heel Watch, 2 o'clock today. The Kings have offered $90 million over 4 years. He wants 110. Will he get it, or will he be in a new uniform after 2 o'clock this afternoon? Stay tuned to ZNS Total Sports. We will break the news as it happens. It's the OT with yours truly, Charles Fisher.
Buddy Hield and the Kings have their...
Buddy Hield seems to be having the best season of his career. He had 32 points the other night. It was a bit disappointing, Shawnee Miller not winning the IAAF World Female Athlete of the Year. The high school rankings will soon be out. Tabernacle, the defending champion, CC Sweeting, they are always there. Who will it be this year? Each Monday on 1540 AM and 104.5 FM, it's the OT with yours truly, Charles Fisher.
Our marine resources were once considered inexhaustible. Conch and reef fish like grouper were abundant everywhere, and it seemed as if the lobster catch would rise forever. But today, there is a downward trend that affects everyone. Researchers say we can reverse the trend by protecting more marine habitats. And the good news is that most Bahamians strongly support efforts to halt further decline. Tripling the size of our network of marine parks will mean more fish and conch for everyone, now and for the future, as well as more recreational and ecotourism opportunities. Today, only 10% of our waters are protected. Surveys show that most Bahamians consider protection of our marine environment to be a top national priority. More protection means more benefits for everyone, now and in the future. It's a win-win-win strategy for the economy, for Bahamians, and for nature. Protect our sea, protect our way of life, protect the Bahamas. See the future. Visit Bahamas Protected on Facebook to learn more about marine protected areas.
Abuse, domestic violence, suicidal tendencies. Are you being stressed out from these problems? Call the national hotline at 422-2763 or 322-2763. There are trained social workers available 24 hours to help you. Know that you are not alone in this.
One of the things with Ill Ability's mission is to empower individuals to live life with limitless possibilities through positive interactions within communities worldwide.
There are many people around the world, able-bodied and differently abled, who have doubts, who lack confidence, who aren't sure what they want to do with their lives or don't think that they can do what they would like to do, what they dream of doing. And we try to show them that if you have a dream and you stop making excuses for yourself as to why you cannot or should not pursue your dream or your passion, then there are no limits to what you can achieve.
Like when someone sees my dance, I want them to see that message that no matter what obstacles they're faced with, they can always find a way to do it their own way.
Our final look at weather in the tropics. Nothing out there to talk about, and that's always good news as we head into the final stretch of the tropical cyclone season. But over the Bahamas, we are now under the influence of a weak high-pressure system. And what does that mean? Well, very light winds throughout the 700 Islands, and also very little cloud conditions. Slight chance of showers today, as those winds will be falling light and variable at times. But in the northwest Bahamas, generally southeast to south around 10 to 15 knots. In the central and southeastern parts of our country, the winds will be more east to southeast at 10 to 15 knots. And our forecast for today called for a bit of cloud, a bit of sunshine, and like we said, maybe a brief stray shower passing by. High temperature today getting up to about 88 degrees. And tonight we're looking at a pretty nice night, but on the warm and humid side with partly cloudy conditions. Low temperature around 78 degrees, and extended weather forecast. Lovely weather right through the balance of this week, but come Saturday, it looks as though we're going to have some cloud in our forecast and maybe some showers on Saturday. But until then, beautiful weather, so go out there and enjoy. LaDawn?
Basil, I'm still waiting on that cold weather. Thanks a lot. And that does it for the Morning Edition this Monday. Thank you so much for waking up with us. For the entire Morning Edition team, I'm LaDawn Davis. Make it a great day, everyone.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
Today, a wonderful good morning to you, made it in. Where are you calling from this morning?
I'm calling from beautiful Marchtown, Dion. I want to say good morning to my children. I love you all. I want to say happy birthday going out to Millicent Smith, right? And good morning to all of my radio colleagues, especially my girl, Paulette Ramsey, and you, Dion. Mrs. Micklewhite, thank you.
All right, Mrs. Micklewhite, definitely keep your dials locked in. Good morning to you, made it in. Where are you calling from this morning?
I'm calling from Bonnet Road.
Welcome.
Thank you, Dion. How are you doing?
Blessed. Who are you saying good morning to?
I want to say good morning to all my children. I want to say good morning to Miss Butler. Welcome back home, Miss Butler. And I hope you feel better. I want to say good morning to the meat market in Foxes. Get up, boys, and get to the meat shop and cut those meats. This is from Toylene. And I want to say good morning to my doctor, Dr. Brennan, and all the doctors up here. And in Foxville, Valley Good, 514. And Albert Clark, our Reverend Clark. And
all right, definitely keep your dials locked into the national voice of the Bahamas, okay? Let's go on to beautiful Ninth Terrace. Good morning to you, made it in. Hello.
Pleasant, good morning. I'm calling from Cooper's Terrace. I'd like to wish my two kids a happy belated birthday, Mitchell Brown Jr. and also Tamika Joseph. And I'll also like to wake up his granddaddy, George Brown, and that is from Eleanor, and also Villamay Roca through Lion Road. Wake up, Villamay. Love you.
All right, a wonderful good morning is extended to you right now. It's time for me to check in with Bishop Neil C. Ellis of Mount Tabor with the word for today. Good morning to you, Bahamas.
And now, here's a message from Bishop Neil C. Ellis.
When there's a loss in your life, you feel it. Matter of fact, grief is the price you pay for losing someone or something you loved. You don't only grieve when you lose a loved one. Those people who lost their homes are grieving if they love their home. Grief is the price you pay for losing someone or something you love. Consequently, there's a lot of grief in our town. And when you have national grief, you don't spend the time pointing fingers. When you have national grief, we are obligated, particularly those of us who are of the faith, we have an obligation to cover our country and cover our people and cover our leaders.
Thank you so much, Bishop Ellis. Back to the phone lines, 325-5403. Family Islanders, 1-242-300-8255. Let's go into Beantown right now. Let's go on to Soja Road. Good morning to you, made it in. Hello.
Hello, good morning. I would like to say good morning to my Grammy, Virginia Gray, and my granddaddy, Alvin Gray from Sense, Long Island. And I'd like to say good morning to my mother, Lavinia Thurston, and my Grammy, Lettuce Thurston, and Soldier Road. And I'd like to say good morning to my auntie, Natasha Thurston, and with a bit of Bristol, Sea Breeze. And I would like to say good morning to Paula Ramsey and the Valley Girl. And this is coming from Peyton Gray, Soldier Road.
All right, Peyton, definitely keep your dials locked in. Let's go into the Bluff E. Lutheran. Good morning to you.
Well, it's a pleasant good morning this morning. How you doing this morning, my mother?
I'm blessed. What about you?
Man, I'm too blessed to be stressed and too anointed to be disappointed. I want to say a special good morning to Miss Rowie and also to Miss Rosie down at the North Eleuthera Airport. Also the staff at Delta Airlines, Silver Airlines, Southern here, Pineapple here, Bahamas here, and not forgetting the folks down at White Crown Aviation down at North Eleuthera. Good morning this morning, coming from your brother from another mother, Mr. Fairweather, keeping it fair down at Bluff, where things just ain't tough. Have a blessed day, my brother.
All right, Fairweather, you definitely have a blessed day as well. Let's go into beautiful Stapleton Gardens. Good morning to you, Meriden. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, good morning. Who are you saying good morning to?
Good morning. I'd like to say good morning to Velasquez Theophilus. I wish him a happy birthday from his wife, his daughter, and his mom, and his brothers and sisters.
And that's coming in from?
His mom, Seth Francis.
All right, Miss Francis, definitely make sure he enjoys his special day today. Have to send a wonderful good morning, happy birthday greetings goes out to Levan Ferguson as she celebrates her birthday today. Hey, good morning to you. Happy birthday greetings to you. That's in from your sister, Ulysses, the entire family, friends, everyone who love you. Definitely want you to enjoy your special day today. Anyone see Mackay King? Wish him a happy birthday as he celebrates his birthday today. Hey, good morning to you. Happy birthday, greatest to you. Dial's always locked in to the national voice of the Bahamas. That's in from your mom, Miss Cox, the entire family, friends, everyone who love you. Definitely want you to enjoy your day today. A wonderful good morning. Happy birthday greetings goes out to